Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्ति स्वामिने नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम सच्चिदानंद रूपाय कृष्णाय क्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदांत वेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वलोकहिते रतं वेदाब्ज भास्करं वन्दे शमादिनिलयं मुनिं सहस्रमूर्तेः पुरुषोत्तमस्य सहस्रनेत्राननपादबाहो सहस्रनाम्नां स्तवनं प्रशस्तं निरुच्यते जन्मजरादिशान्त्यै. So namaste once again everyone.
Namaskaram Guruji.
Namaskaram. So
Namaste Guruji.
Namaste. Namaste. So we are seeing the meanings of this sloka. Ajo maharha swabhavyo jita mitra pramodanaha anando nandano nandaha satya dharma trivikramaha. And in the last class, I think we saw the nama, meaning of the nama Nandaha. The one who is rich with all means to be happy. In fact, we saw two meanings of this nama Nandaha. The first meaning, as I told you, was the one who has got all the means, rich with all the means to be happy. And another interpretation, another reading is also there in some texts. It's called Anandaha. Meaning one who has no Nanda, no Vaishayika Sukha. That is limited happiness born out of external sources. So Bhagavan is one who does not have any limited happiness. He has got unlimited happiness because his Swarupa is limitless joy. So both readings are there. Nandaha is also there. Anandaha is also there. So Sanskrit language allows for both readings, but both readings we can derive the meanings of the nama. Okay. The next is Satya Dharma. Satya Dharma means the one who has dharmas like Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Satya Dharma Jnanadayaha Asyeti Satya Dharma. As we have seen, I think a number of times, the very word Bhagavan is the one who has got 6 bhagas, or bhagas are also called dharmas. What are the dharmas of Bhagavan? Jnana, knowledge, vairagya, dispassion, virya, capacity to create, sustain and also resolve, yashas, fame, shri, wealth, and aishwarya, overlordship. And these 6 bhagas or these 6 dharmas are satya, true for him, in the sense that these are always present in Bhagavan in absolute measure. never missing or lacking at any time in terms of quantity or quality. So, Satya Dharma hai. Is one of the meanings we can take for this nama. Or this nama can be looked at as such. Satya Dharma then would mean the one who has got Satyam Jnanam Anantam as his dharma, as his nature. So in this meaning, we have to take it as a Swarupa Dharma. Satya is that which exists in all three periods of time. Jnana is that which is in the form of consciousness without any limitations of what? Prabhata, Prameya and Pramana. Knower, known and knowledge. A Prama rather. And Ananta, that which is limitless, not limited by time, not limited by space, and not limited by object. And this aspects or these dharmas, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, these dharmas are Shuddha. It's always pure. That is, of course, from the standpoint of our concept of purity. That's why we have to say pure, because we have got both pure and impure concepts. Whereas so far as Bhagavan is concerned, is always pure. Then Mukta is that which is never bound, ever free. So these are all called dharmas, Satya Dharma. When we say Satya Dharma, we have to state Satyam, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Shuddha, Mukta. All this we have to take as Satya Dharma. So Bhagavan is endowed with all these things. In fact, he is the embodiment of all these dharmas. So he is called Satya Dharma. Then the next nama is Trivikramaha. The one whose three steps span the three worlds. Trayo Vikramaha Trishu Lokeshu Krantaha Yasya Saha Trivikramaha. Some time ago, we saw the nama Amita Vikramaha, right? If you all remember. So referring to the Vamana Avatara, it was said that the Lord's Vikrama means strides, the steps were Amita, immeasurable. So that was a very general thing that said immeasurable steps, immeasurable strides. But here, the same idea is being conveyed by specifically referring to the Lord as Trivikrama. Again, it is referring to Vamana Avatara only. So the strides that Bhagavan took, the three steps that the Bhagavan took, Lord Vishnu took, can be seen in both ways. One is they were three in number, and also they were immeasurable. That is, he completely covered this entire universe with those three steps. So both the meanings have come. Amita Vikramaha, Trivikramaha, both are meaning the same thing, referring to the same act of Bhagavan, the same Leela of Bhagavan, but conveying different shades of meaning. So this is also referring to the Vamana Avatara of Bhagavan. And the three worlds that is being talked about here can be taken as Bhuhu, Bhuvaha and Suvaha, the earth and those below, the heavens and that which is in between. I request all of you to please remain in mute mode so that I don't get disturbed and others also don't get disturbed. So these three steps, Bhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, can be one way we can take it, or we can even take it as the Stula, Sukshma and Karana Prapanchas, the three steps. So symbolically, when we say Ishvara has taken three steps to cover the entire Stula Prapancha, Sukshma Prapancha, and Karana Prapancha. That means what? He is all pervasive. He has covered all the entire world. So that way also we can interpret this from a Vedanta point of view. We can interpret this Nama as this Nama Trivikrama. So that completes that sloka. Now the next sloka. Maharshi Kapilacharya Kritagno Medinipatihi Tripadastridashadhyaksho Mahashringa Kritanta. Still I'm getting unmute. Half the time I think I have to spend my muting people. Okay. So this sloka has got 7 namas only. Sloka is the length of the sloka is the same, but there are only 7 namas. Maharshi Kapilacharya is 1 nama. Kritagnya Medinipatihi Tripadaha Tridashadhyakshaha Mahashringaha Kritanta Krit. 7 namas. Maharshi Kapilacharya, the one who is the great sage Kapilacharya. Adi Shankara explains this. Maharshi Kapilacharya iti savisheshanam ekam nama. So Maharshi is the adjective for Kapilacharya, which is the noun. Mahansha asau rishikascha maharshihi. Kritsnasya vedasya darshana. Anye tu vedaika desha darshana kapila shasau sajanyasya shabdha tattva vigyanasya acharyaksha iti Kapilacharya. Sanskrit. Lot of Sanskrit is involved. Don't worry, I'll just explain the important points. So Maharshi, as I said, is an adjective to Kapilacharya. And together they make one nama. Kapilacharya was a great rishi, mantra drashta. Rishati janati mantran iti rishihi. The one who knows, who sees the mantras is called a rishi. An acharya is one who teaches the shastra. And not only he teaches, he also follows what he teaches. He practices what he teaches. So he himself practices and also makes others follow all these teachings rather by teaching them. In the Shastra, the Acharya is defined as Achinoti hi shastrartam achare stapayatyapi swayam acharate yasmad acharya tena uchyate. So Achinoti hi shastrartam achare stapayatyapi. So he actually teaches the Shastra, Swayam Acharate, he himself follows. Yasmat Acharya Tena Cha Uchyate. He is called an Acharya. The one who teaches the Shastras, who follows the Shastras, and also he motivates others to follow the Shastra. In the Bhagavata, it is mentioned that Kapila, who was a sage who was the son of the sage Kardana and Devahuti, is considered as an avatar of Lord Vishnu. In fact, we are aware of only popularly 10 avatars of Vishnu. Whereas, if we read the Bhagavata Purana, there are hundreds of avatars of Vishnu, full avatars, semi-avatars. for different periods, for different purposes. We must remember all the avatars are meant for what? Dharma samsthapanarthaya. For re-establishing dharma in this world, because dharma gets very easily overpowered by adharma. Therefore, it is a very big task to keep dharma, sustain dharma. And dharma can be sustained only by protecting the dharmis, those who follow the dharma. And these dharmis are the one who get attacked by all the adharmic people. Because the adharmic people, they don't want any dharma because it is a problem for them. Just like many people don't want any law and order. They thrive when there is no law and order. Even when there is a written law and order, they still will break the law. So these adharmis, they are always on the prowl. They are always on the lookout to attack the dharmis, so that by vanquishing the dharmis, they can rule over. I mean, the dharmas can be removed from this earth. So whenever that becomes a little overwhelming, Bhagavan takes an avatara. Sometimes it's a full avatara, like Ram avatara, Krishna avatara and all that. Sometimes the avatara is a semi-avatara. For a particular purpose, he will take an avatara. Even when we talk of sustenance of dharma, it is not necessarily that only dharmis need to be protected, but the shastras themselves need protection at some time. The Vedas need to be protected. In this Kali Yuga, we will see all those things as we go forward. Today itself, Vedas are finding it extremely difficult. People, we have got only, a handful of people who not only study the Vedas, but they also follow the Vedic lifestyle. And this population is going to go down and down and down only as time progresses. So the very Vedas also, which is nothing but dharma, Vedas are nothing but all dharmas which we are, the Sanatana dharma, Vedas are the embodiment of the Sanatana dharmas. So the protection of the dharma starts from protecting the Vedas itself, and then it extends to protecting the dharmis, those who follow the Vedas. So similarly, the Bhagavata Purana says Kapila, who was born to Kardama and Devahuti, is considered an avatara of the Lord Vishnu. He is called Kapila because he was golden brown. His color, I mean, what is it? His complexion was golden brown. That's why it's called Kapila. And not only that, it is said that he taught the entire Vedanta to his mother, Devahuti. Thus, he became an Acharya for his own mother. And as there are certain original contributions in this work, he is called a Rishi. And what he taught to his mother is called Sankhya, which is Shuddha Atma Tattva Jnana. He taught to her mother the knowledge of the truth of the pure Atma. Now, amongst the Acharyas, there is a debate. We have also called a Sankhya Darshana, one of the Shad Darshanas of Sanatana Dharma, which is Astika Darshanas. There is a Sankhya Darshana. And that Sankhya Darshana also was propounded by sage Kapila. Now, whether this sage Kapila is the same as that sage Kapila is a matter of debate. The people who say there are two different people, they say it on the basis that the Kapila Rishi who taught his mother, which is called Sankhya, that is Shuddha Atma and Tattva Jnana, the knowledge of the truth of the pure Atma, that there is only one Atma, that was his philosophy, or that was his teaching to his mother. Whereas the sage Sankhya Darshana Kapila, he talks about the Atmas being many. And not only that, the Sankhya Darshana also considers the Purusha and Prakriti as independent of each other, and both of them have got parallel degree of reality. Whereas in Vedanta, we say that Brahman alone is the reality. Everything else in this world, Prakriti, which we call Maya in Vedanta, is as a dependent reality. It is Mithya. But Sankhya Darshana considers Mithya, there is nothing called Mithya. Prakriti or Maya also is as real as Atma. That is what Sankhya Darshana says, which is contradictory to what the Kapilacharya, Muni Kapilacharya's teaching to his mother is. And that is why people say that there are two different Kapilas. This is not the same Kapila as that. Anyhow, of course, our subject matter is not to go into all these things, right? But we do not know which is the correct one. The original Sankhya Darshana of Kapila is also not available. But the Sankhya Darshana, that Kapila of Sankhya Darshana has made certain contributions like Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Guna and all that. They are all part of the Sankhya Darshana. And in fact, Vedanta, the Advaita Vedanta, is nothing but an extension of the Sankhya Darshana, but more refined based upon the teachings of the Upanishads. We also consider three gunas, Trigunatmika, Maya and all that, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Guna and all that. So coming back to the Bhagavata Purana, it says this Kapila, who taught his mother Vedanta, is not separate from Ishvara, because he knew the truth that the Jiva is indeed the Parameshwara. There is no difference between Jiva and Ishvara. And because of that, here Bhagavan is called Maharshi Kapilacharya. So this is a Puranic background, this Maharshi Kapilacharya, being the name of the Lord, has got a Puranic background. Then Kritagnaha. Kritagnaha means one who is the creation and also the knower. Kritam karyam jagat nyaha. Atma kritam cha tat nyascha iti Kritagnaha. The word Krita means a product or the effect, which is the created universe. And the word Nya, even though Nya is only a letter, but it is also a meaningful word in Sanskrit language. Nya means the knower. And who is the knower? Atma. Sakshi Chaitanyam. Ultimate knower. So Bhagavan is the one in the form of the created Jagat being the Upadana Karanam, and he is also the knower, the Atma, being the Nimitta Karanam, and hence he is Kritagnaha. Just imagine, Puja Swamiji says, when we read the Mahabharata, many of us wonder, this Dhritarashtra and Gandhari had 100 sons, 100 children. How they could have remembered the names of all those children, isn't it? Here, 2-3 children itself, we are finding it difficult. It's mind-boggling to remember the names of 100 children. And also not only remember the names, to identify which name is which child. But the Lord has no such problem because he is Kritagnya. He knows every aspect of his created, this entire Kritam Jagat, this created universe. That is why he is Kritagnya. Medini Patihi, the Lord of the earth. Medinyaha Bhumyaha Patihi Medini Patihi. Very simple nama. So Bhagavan is Medini Pati, the Lord of the earth. Many people think that they are owners of this earth and they are emperors. Puja Swamiji used to narrate a very interesting story. Many people who buy these apartments and what they call flats and all here in Bombay, places like Bombay and all, they think that they own that place. So Puja Swamiji narrates one very interesting story. Many of you might have heard it also. For those who have not, I will just briefly say the story. He says that he had come to Bombay on one of his visits. And one of his devotees, he said, Swamiji, you must come to my house for Bhiksha. So Swamiji said, yes, with pleasure. So he took Swamiji in a car to a multi-story tall building. Swamiji saw that building and said, oh my God, this such a big building is your house? That person said, no, Swamiji, this whole building is not my house. I have got one apartment in this building, that is my house. So Puja Swamiji said, okay. So they went into the apartment. So Puja Swamiji entered the apartment, looked around and all that, and asked him, so this is your house? He said, yes, Swamiji, this is my house. Okay, which part of this is your house? So he said, why Swamiji? The whole, everything is mine only. I have paid for everything. This is my house. Oh, I see. Okay. This floor that we are standing on, does it belong to you solely? He says, yes, Swamiji. But is not this floor also the ceiling of the apartment which is below your apartment? He said, yes, Swamiji. So that means that this floor, which you call it a floor and the person living down will call it a ceiling, actually it is not owned by either of you entirely, but it is, we can maximum say that you own half and he owns half, correct? He said, yes, Swamiji, you are right. Then Swamiji asked, the same thing will apply to your ceiling also, because your ceiling is the floor of some other person who is staying upstairs, in the upper floor. So that is also not yours. So he started realizing where Puja Swamiji is going towards. Then Swamiji said, this wall on the sides of your house, are they exclusively the walls belonging to you? Then he got the cue. He said, no, Swamiji, this wall on the left side actually is also the wall of the neighboring house, neighboring apartment, and the wall on the right side is also the wall of the neighboring apartment owner. So Puja Swamiji says, neither the walls are yours, nor the ceiling is yours, nor the floor is yours, but you still call it, this is my house. How can you call this my house? You don't own anything. But then this is the biggest ignorance we have got. Everything is owned only by Bhagavan. People think they are the owners, they're the kings and emperors, they think that they are all the owners. Even if on paper they become the owners, it is Bhagavan who actually empowers them to become the owners or emperors or kings, etc. This is what we have to realize. Nobody owns anything in this entire universe. Everything is owned by Bhagavan. If at all we can call something as our own, we can consider ourselves as to be fortunate enough for being made an agent of Bhagavan to take care of the Bhagavan's property. Because we are not going to carry anything with us when we die. These houses, these properties, these flats, these apartments, everything is going to remain here only. Some other person will come. Bhagavan will empower that person to again become an agent to take care of that property after we have gone away from this earth. So, there is no reason for us being very proud. Oh, I know I own so many apartments. I own so many buildings. I own so many territories and land and whatnot. Nothing to be proud of. Nothing is ours. But if we actually treat ourselves as the trustees of all these properties, the trustees appointed by Bhagavan to take care of these properties, our attitude towards these properties will totally be different. We will take care of these properties as trustees, not as owners. It's totally a different subject matter. Unfortunately, I got into it, but it's okay. I mean, this is how we need to, discover what Bhagavan is, to understand what Bhagavan is. So that was the Medini Patihi. Then Tripadaha. Again, we are coming back to Vamana Avatara. The one who has 3 steps or states. Trini Padani Asyeti Tripadaha. So he was called Amita Vikramaha. He was called Trivikramaha. Now he is called Tripadaha. So in order to not repeat the same idea again, Puja Swamiji goes beyond what Adi Shankara has commented in his commentary. And the word pada, he interprets as padyate gamyate iti padam. That which is gained is a pada. From that only we have got the word padavi and all that, right? Paramam padam. All this, the word pada means that which is gained, the goal. And the 3 states of experience, which is experienced by us, the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. These are the 3 padas. With reference to an individual, they are called avasthas. Jagrat avastha, swapna avastha, and sushupti avastha. States of experience. But with reference to the total, the samashti, they are called prapanchas. The stula prapancha, which is equivalent to Jagrat avastha, the waking physical world, Sukshma Prapancha, which is equivalent to Swapna Avastha, the subtle dream world, and the Karana Prapancha, which is the causal state, which is the entire world in its unmanifest condition. And these are the three padas of Bhagavan. And that is why we can understand Lord as Tripada. Eventually, or even though we are talking about Tripadas and all, in the ultimate analysis, all are nothing but Parameshwara alone, because there is only Parameshwara. Everything else is Nama Rupa only. But at the same time, Parameshwara is distinct from all these three, because it is one of the Nama. He pervades this Nama Rupa. Therefore, he is called Tripada. So this Tripada, we can understand, is with reference to the Samashti Prapancha, this total universe. In the context of the total universe, Bhagavan can be called as Tripada. Then Tridashadhyaksha. Again, same meaning we can extend. The Lord of the three states of experiences. Gunaveshena Sanjatas Tisro Dashaha Avastaha Jagradayah Tasam Adhyaksha iti Tridashadhyaksha. So here the individual goes through these three dashas or states or avasthas. As I said, Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti, deep sleep state. Depending on the predominance of the three gunas. And Bhagavan is the Sakshi, the witness of these three states of experience, and is the Adhyaksha, who presides over all these three states. So Bhagavan is the one who witnesses all these three states of experience, but he is not one of them. We have seen just now the three states of experience are Tripada, and all these three levels at the total level, that is Stula, Sukshma and Karana Prapanchas, are called Tripada. So if all these three are Bhagavan, he is also free from all these three. And the Atma is the witness of all these three states of experience. Therefore, he is Adhyaksha, Sakshi, witness. The word Tridasha also has a meaning as Deva. So Tridashas means the Devas. Why Tridasha? Very interesting. It is said that Devas have got only three states: Balyam, Kaumaram and Yauvanam. They don't have Jara, old age. That's why when you go to Devaloka, you are always youthful. And being the Adhyaksha of all the Devas, the one who presides over them, he is called Tridashadhyaksha. So that way also we can take the meaning of Tridashadhyaksha. Then Mahashringa. Shringa means horn, or even a peak is called a Shringa. The one who has got a very big horn or peak. Mahan Shringaha, yasya saha Mahashringaha. But basically, Shringa means horn. No? So Mahashringa means one who has got a great horn. In his avatara as a Matsya, that's Matsya avatara as a fish, he had a horn which was so big that he could pull the boat containing King Satyavrata and the Saptarishis. So in that way he is Mahashringa. In Matsyavatara reference is there. Again in his avatara as the Varaha, the boar, he had a big horn with which he could lift the earth. The earth was actually drowned in the ocean. So Bhagavan took an avatara to lift the earth. So the name Mahashringa basically refers to both his avatara, Matsya avatara and also Varaha avatara. So it's all avatara leela of Bhagavan. That way this Nama Mahashringa we can understand. And as I said, the word Shringa has got another meaning, means peak. Peak means like Himalayas peak and all that, right? Everest. So having the Mahashringa, the peak of Himalayas, or even the North Pole, that is also a peak of this entire world, which indicates the Meru as his abode. He is Mahashringa. So actually in our scriptures and all, this Mahashringa is considered to be the North Pole, where the sun never sets. And in the Vedas, there is a reference to this as the midnight sun, it refers, like the sun is there at midnight. So that is another meaning of this Mahashringa we can take as a peak of this entire. No, the Meru. Meru is the mountain. Or there is one more meaning which Puja Swamiji points out. Mahashringa means like a mark, a pendant for Bhagavan. That is also called Mahashringa. So all these three meanings we can visualize when we hear the name Mahashringa. Then Kritanta Krit. The one who withdraws the Jagat. And also the one who is the destroyer of death. Both meanings are there, Kritanta Krit. Kritasya samsarasyantam samharam karoti iti. Kritanta Krit. Kritantam mrityum krintati iti va Kritanta Krit. So Kritasya antakrit. So we just now saw is Mahashringa, the one who brings an anta, end to the Krita Jagat. Mahashringa is now. He is the one who brings the anta to the end, anta or end to this Krita Jagat, and hence he is Kritanta Krit. Actually, there are people who build things, right? Like a building or a tower or whatever it is, but they need demolition squads to pull them down. Then there are others who cannot build things, but they go on happily destroying things. History is full of such people. People have been destroyed, cultures have been destroyed, libraries have been destroyed, temples have been destroyed, even now they are being destroyed. And Bhagavan created this Jagat, but he does not need anyone to demolish it. He himself does it. And in fact, to say that he destroys or demolishes is also wrong, because he does not destroy anything. He just withdraws that. He creates, he is the maker, and he projects it. After that time is over, he withdraws it. And then after some time, the cycle begins again. So he is the maker and he takes it back unto himself. Then another meaning, Krita Anta Yerasa Antakrit. Lord Yama is also called Kritanta because he brings anta or death to people. And Bhagavan is Kritanta Krit because he cuts and brings an end to Lord Yama also. At the end of the Kalpa, the present Lord Yama will be gone. His tenure will end. And in the next Kalpa, when the creation happens again, there will be a new Jiva who will get appointed as the Lord Yama for that Kalpa. So even though we say relatively Lord Yama is permanent, he is the Lord of death, even Lord Yama also has got death. And the Lord Yama, death means what? At the time of Pralaya, Bhagavan withdraws Lord Yama also unto himself. That is how he is Kritantakrit. Antakrit is Yama, Krita Antakrit is Bhagavan. Kritantakrit. So that completes those 7 namas. Next sloka. Mahavaraho Govinda hai Sushena Kanakangadhi Guhyo Gabhiro Gahano Guptaschakra Gadadhara. So here we have got Mahavaraha hai, Govinda hai, Sushena hai, Kanakangadhi, Guhya hai, Gabhira hai, Gahana hai, Gupta Chakra Gadadhara. Gupta hai, Chakra Gadadhara. 9 namas. 9 namas are there. Okay. So Mahavaraha hai. Excuse me. Mahavaraha hai, the great Varaha. Mahanscha asau Varaha sa iti Mahavaraha hai. The Lord is Mahan, great. And he is also in the form of Varaha, a boar, in a particular avatar. We have just now seen that. The earth was drowned in water. In what is called an Avantara Pralaya. We don't know what it is. It could have been a global upheaval, a big tsunami gobbled up the entire earth. And then the earth was saved by the Lord, who took the form of a Varaha, a boar. And of course, he had to be Mahan because the entire earth has to be lifted up from the water. And you can imagine that any body, anything which goes underwater, its weight increases manifold to lift it. So as the restorer of the earth, he is Mahavaraha. Then Govindaha. Govindaha, we have seen this name in so many contexts. Here, Adi Shankara takes a very wonderful name, Govindaha, the one known through the Vedas. Gobihi Vanibihi Vedyate iti Vedanta Vakyaihi iti va Govindaha. The word go is a very versatile word in the Sanskrit language. It has many meanings. And one of the meanings of the word go is Shabda, sound. So Vedas are nothing, they are Shruti, they are heard, they are sounds. Vedas are nothing but sounds. And therefore, since Bhagavan is known through Go, that is the Vedas, he is called Govindaha. Gobihi Vanibihi Vedyate. And he is known mainly through the words, the Mahavakyas of Vedanta. Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam Brahma, Ahamatma Brahma. All these are all, so many hundreds of Mahavakyas are there in the Upanishads. And the Mahavakyas are nothing but an equation equating the Jiva and the Parameshwara. And Bhagavan introduces himself. He makes us see him through his own words, which are the Vedas, the Shruti. So Veda is the Shabda Pramana, which has come to us through the Rishis, and through those Vedas he reveals himself. There is a text called Vishnu Tilaka. There is a Gobireva Yato Vedyo Govindah Samudahritaha. As he is to be known through the words of the Vedas, he is well known as Govinda. Even in the Gita, Sri Krishna makes himself known. He reveals himself through his own words, which are the words of Ishvara, and they are the words of Veda. Bhagavan Krishna says, all that I am teaching to you, Arjuna, I taught to Vivaswan, the Lord's son, the head of the solar dynasty. I have taught the same thing to him. Then he says, I taught this to his son Manu, and Manu taught this to Ikshvaku, in whose lineage Sri Rama was born. So handed down from generation to generation, the kings who were sages knew it. Thus, this knowledge has been coming down through generations. Therefore, the Lord is Govinda, the one who is known through the Vedas. Then Sushenaha. Susenaha is the word, but because of grammar rules, it becomes Sushenaha. The Sakara takes a Shakara Adesha. The one with a good army. Su Shobhana Sena Ganatmika Yasyeti Sushenaha. So Bhagavan has got a big army of devatas. Entire cosmic powers are all devatas, and they all belong to the army of Bhagavan. They are the presiding deities of the various phenomena that we experience in this entire prapancha. That's why they are called Sena, the army of gods. What it means from a Vedanta point of view is, it means the one who is manifest in the form of the various law and order is Bhagavan, the Lord, and therefore he is Sushenaha. Then Kanagangadi. Kanaka Angadi, the one who wears golden armlets. Kanakamayani Angadani Asyeti Kanagangadi. We have seen this in many images of Lord Vishnu also. He always wears golden armlets. What does that represent? Because gold in our culture represents Lakshmi. It means that the Lord is always with Lakshmi, and it is Lakshmi who is in the form of golden armlets in Bhagavan's arms. So wherever we sight gold, wherever there is gold, it is the armlet of Bhagavan. And if we can just extend this imagination, on a dark night, when we see the sky littered with stars, we can visualize those stars in the sky are nothing but Bhagavan's necklace, diamond necklace. Like that we can, for meditation purposes, it's such a joyful thoughts we can bring to our mind about Bhagavan. Then next is a very interesting nama, Guhyaha. Guhyaha means the one who is a secret. Rahasyopanishad Vedyatvat Guhayam Hridayakashe Nihitaha Iti Va Guhyaha. The Vedas, especially the Upanishads, are known as Rahasya. That is why it is not taught to everybody. In olden days, to learn Upanishad, one has to, it's at the final stage. After going through all Karma Kanda learnings and all that, after having decided that I am not going into Grihastha but right from Brahmacharya, I will take to Sannyasa and study the Upanishads. This was the original way of study of the Vedas. People would study the entire Purva Bhaga of the Vedas, all karmas, everything. And when they get into the Grihastha, they will not be taught the Upanishads and all, they will not be taught the Vedanta, but they will be expected to put into practice all that they have learned in the Karma Kanda. And this responsibility is given to the couple after marriage, husband and wife. They are required to, sustain, uphold the dharma which is stated in the Karma Kanda by doing all those things which are ordained. And thereby, they would become the agents of Bhagavan for sustenance of dharma. That is why, in our culture, the wife is referred to as Dharma Patni. Dharma Patni, a consort, a partner who joins the man in order to uphold the dharma, in order to serve the society in a dharmic way. And therefore, these Upanishads are called Rahasya. They are not like today it is being taught left, right and center. To learn the Upanishad, there has got to be first Adhikaratvam. You have to be an Adhikari. Adhikari means what? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha is an Adhikari. Tattva Bodha students will recall who is an Adhikari. So a person after completing his studies in the as Brahmachari in the Gurukulam and having gained lot of Viveka, Vairagya, etc., he decides that I am straight away going to Sannyasa Ashram and study, get into Jnana Ganda and then study Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, etc. That is going to be my life. I don't want to get into Grihastha. Let others take care of it. Because this is as important as Grihastha. The parampara will require a lot of teachers. The lineage has to be upheld. Let me become part of the lineage. So, and what is the importance of the Upanishad? The importance of Upanishad is that Bhagavan can be known only through the Upanishads. And Upanishad is Rahasya, and therefore Bhagavan is said to be Guhya, a secret. The Lord is all-knowing, all-powerful. He is the Akasha and etc. Akasha, everything is the Lord. But what is the truth of Him? When we study the Upanishad, we understand that the truth of Bhagavan is me. And that is the secret. What is a secret? Secret does not necessarily mean something which is always hidden. A secret can also be which is in front of your eyes, but you don't recognize it. Another way to look at it is We have seen this meaning also. He is secretively hidden in the Hridayakasha, the cave of the Buddhi. Hence he is called Guhya. He can be recognized only in the Buddhi as the very Adhisthana of the Buddhi. That you are he, Tattvamasi, is a secret. Because even when told, 99% of the people will not understand. When you are told, you Jiva, you are Ishvara, you are Parameshwara, nobody will believe, nobody will understand. Therefore, this is the greatest secret. So one has to first study the Vedanta, and even then it remains a secret. So unless it is thoroughly understood, unless it is thoroughly assimilated, that knowledge, it will always remain a secret, and hence he is Guhya. Bhagavan is Guhya. The moment we say that, he is Hridayakasha, he is, to be discovered in Hridayakasha and all that, to be recognized in that, cave of the heart, one should not come to the conclusion that Bhagavan is something very small, which fits into the small space in the heart. The reference here is the Pratyagatma, the inner self. And that also is a secret. So Bhagavan is Guhya, a secret. He has to be discovered. He has to be understood. And only Vedanta gives us that knowledge to understand Bhagavan, what exactly Bhagavan is, what am I, who am I, what is this Jagat, what is the interrelationship between the Jagat, Jiva and Ishvara. All these things Vedanta only teaches us. Okay, we will stop here and continue in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om Guruji.
Harihi Om. Thank you.
Dhanyavadaha, Guruji.
Dhanyavadaha.
Namaskaram.
Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Dhanyavada Mahodaya.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next class we will not have, because I am traveling to the US, so we will skip one class and then continue the following Sunday. I just wanted to make, I'll send a note also in the group, but just wanted to.
Raghuji, I have a question that you are talking about Kapila Maharishi of the Sankhya Darshana, who says Atmas are many. That I'm familiar with that. Who is this other? The one who taught the mother the Atma Tattvam is different. And is it from the Bhagavata Purana, the reference source is Raghuji?
Yes. Look up Bhagavata Purana, the source is there.
Yes, I have book. That's what I got it, but I was taking notes and listening to what Swamiji's comment, so it missed. Okay. So, but
Swamiji only has referred to Bhagavata Purana.
Yes. I saw in the book, but the thing is, so but normally what people know is the Sankhya Darshana who says Atmas are many. That's the one, the more quote and unquote more popular.
Correct.
Okay.
But that is why, that's why some people feel that there are two different Kapilas. Where one Kapila is a Advaita Kapila.
Oh, okay.
Whereas this Sankhya Darshana Kapila is a Dvaita Kapila. Many Atmas.
Okay.
That's the difference. That's why they say they are not different. They are two different Kapilas. Even though that is called Sankhya and this is called Sankhya Darshana, that way also there is a confusion.
Yeah, but that's what I always heard, like Sankhya Yoga and then which says, and then here's Sankhya. So I had a doubt, but I have not read the book, although I had that says, okay, thank you for explaining that to me. I appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
Anyway, have a safe trip to USA.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, welcome. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes.
Good evening, Guruji.
Good evening.
My doubt is with respect to one thing which we discussed today, sir. Guhyo, definition of Guhyo. The Supreme Lord. Who's the secret? So basically, is it necessary to that to be a secret? Because it is, and then two, is it necessary to possess knowledge of Upanishads to actually know the Supreme?
See,
can you not have it, this thing without experience?
We have to understand it like this. We have been talking about this entire creation, which is the creator is the Lord, correct? And we have also talked about that the entire creation is made out of what material? The material of the Lord alone, because he is both the Nimitta Karana and the Upadana Karana, right? Whatever is made out of that material is no different from that material. We make a pot from clay. The essence of that pot is not different from the clay itself, right? It only is a different shape and given to the clay, which we give a name also, name and form. Essence, it is clay only. Therefore, the entire universe that we are experiencing is nothing but Bhagavan alone. Do we know that? Do we understand that? We don't. That is why it's a secret. It is right in front of us. Everything that we experience is Bhagavan alone. I am Bhagavan, you are Bhagavan. But do we know that? Right in front of our eyes it is there, but we don't know it. That is why it's a secret. What is a secret which is not known is a secret. And where is this knowledge that Bhagavan is the creator, he is the Nimitta Karanam, he is the Upadana Karanam and all that? That knowledge is contained in the Upanishads. It need not necessarily mean that one should study the Upanishads themselves. If you do that, excellent. But you can understand what the contents of the Upanishad through Acharyas, through Gurus and all that, who actually explain the contents of the Upanishad in a language that we can appreciate, we can understand. In Hindi, in English, in Tamil, in Malayalam, so many languages, in Gujarati, in Telugu, Kannada, so many Acharyas, so many Gurus, they are only doing this, trying to make people understand what the contents of the Upanishad in the language that they speak, in the language which they are familiar. That is what, throughout India, so many Gurus are there. Not only why India, I mean, there are Gurus, Puja Swamiji students are there in Japan, they are in Latin America. They teach, they pass on Puja Swamiji's teaching in their respective languages. These people keep visiting the ashram in Coimbatore once in a while. And they teach in Japanese, they teach in whatever language, Portugal and all the Portuguese and all that. So, what is a secret is being revealed by the Upanishads. That is why Upanishads themselves are called Rahasyam. And in fact, in Bhagavad Gita, later Krishna will say, tell Arjuna, what I have taught you is Guhya Tamam. The topmost secret is what knowledge I have given you, Arjuna. It is not available for everybody. So that is why it is a secret. Is your doubt clear?
Yes, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Guruji,
Yeah.
what is being expressed is that it's not an intellectual pursuit, but it's an experiential. So therefore, you have to qualify yourself
Yes.
to become
Yeah.
But the question comes for people who are not exposed to this. They say, what is your proof? Except saying that the Vedas are saying this, or this is saying that it's the same as any other doctrine.
Yeah.
So how do we counteract to these questions?
See, first of all, my own thinking is that if somebody is questioning the very basis of this teaching, we must avoid any discussion with that person. We'll tell them whatever you believe, well and good. You believe that. Because it is just like, there is a story of Tenali Raman, I don't know whether you know it. There's a Tenali Raman character you have heard, right? I mean, it's a lot of stories are there. So once what happened, one king was very secular in his approach. What is this Brahmin, Kshatriya business and all that? I can make anybody a Brahmin. So he picked up one boy from some Shudra, family, and he got some priests and did the Upanayanam ceremony. Because Upanayanam ceremony is done for Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. Shudras, they are not eligible for Upanayanam. So this king, he did Upanayanam for a Shudra boy. So Tenali Raman was, witnessing all these things. So next day onwards, what Tenali Raman did, he caught hold of a black cat and went to the riverside and started applying some, lotion and all that, and taking a brush and started, washing that cat. So the king came by and he asked, what are you doing, Tenali Raman? He says, no, king, I am just cleaning this so that this black cat can become a white cat. He said, are you an idiot? How can a black cat become a white cat? Then he says, if a Shudra can become a Brahmin, why not a black cat can become a white cat? So the Raja realized his mistake. He says that there are certain things said in our Vedas, in our scriptures, and you are ignoring all those things and doing things on your own. So that is the story. So the people who are totally skeptical about all these things, in order to keep our own peace of mind, in order to save our own time and effort, you tell them you are right. In fact, Pujya Swamiji used to narrate a very nice story. Pujya Swamiji, that's the beauty of learning from Pujya Swamiji. There are so many stories you will get. So he was traveling somewhere and there was some other, a priest belonging to different religion rather. So both were discussing, Pujya Swamiji and this priest. And that priest was going on, saying, not understanding the Advaita concept of Pujya Swamiji, he was trying to say and all that. After some time, Pujya Swamiji felt that there's no point in talking to this guy. He is not going to change his view. He has a totally closed mind. So Pujya Swamiji says, okay, fine, what will you have? Tea or coffee with sugar or without sugar? So Pujya Swamiji says, this is what you should do with such people. When you try to tell them something and then they go on countering you, you change the topic, say, what will you have? Tea, coffee, or some cold drink can I get you and all that. Take away. So don't discuss all these things from those people. Our job, Vedanta is meant for my moksha. Vedanta is not meant for giving moksha to other people. We can't do that. Bhagavan also cannot do that. Even Bhagavan cannot give moksha to anybody unless I want moksha. Moksha is my goal in my life. I work towards it. Understanding Bhagavan, discovering Bhagavan in the form of this entire cosmos, in the form of the cosmic order, is all part of that process. That is how I go away from focus on my individual self, which is what I have been doing all along with my very bloated ego. I remove my thinking process from that individual self. I actually start widening it, understanding what is the content, essence of my individual self, and start seeing that essence in everything around me. So this entire process is not for us to convince anybody, not to say I am right, you are wrong. If you think you are right, very good. Keep it with you. My journey is different. Let me carry on with my. Somebody comes and asks you specifically as a student, I want to learn what this is. I've heard about it, but I still have got a lot of doubts about this. Whatever you know, you try to tell him in a very simple language. But for that, he must have that curiosity, that that interest in that. So we must never bother if so and so asks this, how should we tackle this and all. Don't tackle it at all. You don't even tell them that you will not understand. By that, you may be actually projecting yourself as more intelligent than the other fellow. You don't need to say that also. He says, yes, from your standpoint, you're absolutely right. That's all. You don't even need to tell him that I agree with you, I don't agree with you. Nothing is required. Your knowledge is your knowledge for your own sake. Don't even discuss with your family members. They will not understand. Nobody will understand. In fact, on the contrary, they will make fun of you. You will be talking, Viveka, Vairagya, and overcoming all Shadripus and anger and all. And sometimes when you get angry, immediately they will say, where is Vedanta gone now? You are now angry. They will mock you. So don't even talk to the family members about all these things. As I said, Vedanta is a pure personal pursuit. That's it. Me, myself, Vedanta, Jnana, Moksha. That is my formula for life. That is what we must worry about. And,
so if
sorry.
So if the quest for an individual, whether he is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, so when the Shudra comes also, there is a quest in him somewhere. So how is he disqualified as a person like a black cat who is being brushed off?
See, the qualification for Veda Purva Bhaga is different than the qualification for Veda Vedanta. For Vedanta, the qualification is not that you should be Brahmana, Kshatriya and all that. All this Upanayanam ceremony business is in the Purva Bhaga rather. Nothing to do with Vedanta. Karma Kanda. The only relevant portion of Karma Kanda for Vedanta purpose is Karma Yoga. That's all. Otherwise, all that karmas are waste. It is nothing to do with Vedanta, nothing to do with Tattam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. They are all for the purpose of dharma. That is why the commentary, Bhashyam for Purva Mimamsa starts with Atato Dharma Jignyasa. So to know dharma, what is dharma, what is Sanatana dharma, what are the practices, what are the rituals, that is dharma jignyasa. Whereas Brahma Sutra starts with what? Atato Brahma Jignyasa. This is to know about Brahman. For that there is no need for you to study Karma Kanda. There is no qualification stipulated by Karma Kanda is required. But you must require the qualification of sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. That is the qualification. That can be anybody, Brahmana, Shudra, man, woman, anybody can study Vedanta. There is no restriction at all. All restrictions apply to karmas only, not to the Jnana Kanda, not to Upanishads, not to Vedanta. Anybody can study. That's the difference. All this.
Thank you.
Understand these differences. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Thank you,
Yes,
Guruji.
Hariji.
Unmute, Hariji.
Yeah. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
With respect to Arun Kumarji's question, the Guhya, can we also see that you have to put in real effort? It is not easily available. That one has to put in a lot of effort.
Lot of effort. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that, and hence it is known as secret, because it is not easily available for
Correct.
anybody.
You can see the word secret has got, for example,
Yeah.
I don't know whether you have got, you know it, the Indian army, all armies, they have got a set of what they call, the messages and all that they convey. That is
Code language.
Code language. That is a top secret.
Yeah.
But some people know that codes.
No.
And they are all very highly paid people, and they are the ones who actually make these codes and all that. So like that, in order to break that code, one needs to understand those codes. One needs to put in a lot of effort. Very brilliant it is actually. I knew one person who was in that particular, unit. Brilliant guy. He is very unassuming guy, very humorous guy, but his thinking is fantastic. I mean, we can't even imagine that such can be thought about. Brilliant thinking. So this is also like that only, without effort. And here, especially when it is a secret, the degree of effort has to be very, very high. Very high, no doubt about it. Yeah. Yes, any more questions? Sulekha ji, no question? Good. Okay, then we will we'll close, and then one class we will skip, and next class we will continue after 19th will be the next class. Okay.
So from Vishnu Sahasranamam class, wishing you safe journey.
Thank you very much.
We have got Bhagavad Gita class next week.
Yeah, Saturday we have got Bhagavad Gita. Yeah.
So you will get one more wish on Saturday.
Sorry?
You will get one more wish on Saturday.
Yeah, fine. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om, Guruji.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
Thank you.